Hey beautiful people, how you doing? So I just wanted to quickly go through this invert malarkey with you, okay? Or getting into your chopper as well, or straddle, whatever you like to call it, and being able to do this with control. You can work towards this even as a complete beginner. If you're not training to work on your inverts and you're just training to kick up, you're not going to develop your strength, okay? So rein it back. Build the strength through beginners so that when you get to an intermediate level, which is where the inverts come in, you're nice and strong. If you're inverting in beginner, for me personally, inverts don't happen in beginner. Preparation comes in beginner, okay? You've got to build your foundations to get there. So we're gonna have a look at your tucks, making sure you get that good position. Tucks, tilts choppers, or tucks, tilt inverts, then choppers, okay? You can do either. So I'll show you what they look like, okay? So tuck first is really important to get your positioning right. So hip goes in front of the pole, we're going to tuck the pelvis under. This will feel like a really weird position. So inside hand or inside arm tucks around, hand at face level, and the outside hand just above. You don't want your hands up here, okay? If your hands are higher, you're going to have to physically do a pull-up until you get your hands in the right position. So start with them low, especially if you're new, okay? So always start on the tippy toes. You can't quite see my toes, but I'm on my tippy toes. You're going to think about rolling the shoulders back, and we're going to think about lifting the knees. So your tuck position is the first one. Knees straight up, getting that height, okay? You don't want to just aim for your knees to be here, okay? We need to get the hips high, which means aiming the knees higher. If we're not getting that, you're going to struggle with the next part. So get that nailed first. If you struggle with doing the tucks, I can't even get both feet off the ground. Don't worry, I couldn't either when I first started. You can start building it up by bringing one knee up at a time. So get in the same position, but bringing one knee up, keep it up. Start to bend the other leg, and you're going to feel the grip that you need, okay? So if you're not using a silicone pole, I'm using a silicone pole so I can grip on my clothes. So if you're using a metal finish pole, take your top off, get some skin grip. That's going to help you. So we're going to get gripped, knee up, feel the grip as you start to bend the outside leg. Then just see if you can get your toes off, okay? If you've got that, then we're going to bring the knee up and swap the legs. Up, up, down, down. Then when you've got it, hold it up, and then down, and then see if you've got to that stage, see if you can bring both knees up together, okay? So that's sort of step number one. Then you've got your tucks tilts. So you've got to aim for your knees past the pole, okay? So knees to the shoulders. If we're not getting to the knees to the shoulders, your hips will be too low, and then you'll end up just faffing with your feet on the pole, okay? And that's, if you're getting that to that stage, it's because the hips aren't high, okay? So if you're like, oh, getting the feet up, go backwards, okay? Take a step back and work on the tucks tilts, which looks like this. Okay, so this time, instead of just aiming the knees straight up together, I'm opening the knees to the shoulders. Only when the knees come to the shoulders, they should be up near the pole. If they're way down here, don't even think about tilting back. Get the knees up, then start to lean back. I've still got control of my biceps. I'm not completely fully straight with my arms right away. So I'm pulling the pole away slightly, and then I'm just going to pull myself back up and land. So everything else still the same. Pull. Just want to open the knees as we tuck up. And then from here, you can start to lean back. Can you see where my knees are? And then pull back up and land back down. Does that make sense? Got to get those knees up. Once you've got that tilt, you can continue as long as those hips stay up. So you want to tilt back, and we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Then you can think about either shooting your legs up on the pole or going straight over into your straddle or chopper position, okay? So I would recommend shooting the legs up initially, because then you can adjust your position and work on straddles, and you can work the negatives. So what I mean by negatives is you get into the position, so you get your legs on the pole, come down into that chopper position, pull up, so you dismount before you do the full mount. Does that make sense? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck tilt, and as I got to my tilt stage, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to tilt myself over, so I'm not fully going backwards. That's not stage wrong, I've been teaching that way for a long time. But this way is a slightly different technique that I've been teaching recently, and lots of people are finding it easier. So when you tuck and tilt, we get that to that position, but we're going to tilt to the side. So I'm going to tilt across the pole, and then I'm going to straighten my outside leg to place that leg on the pole. what you'll find is you'll need to slide your hands down the pole. So from here, tuck tilt, where we got to, here. Then I'm going to tilt over and straighten the leg, get the leg on, and the leg on, then you can slide the hands down if you need to. Does that make sense? Awesome. Once you've got that, and you've got that nailed, you can work on straddling down, okay? So we can get into that invert, and then we can work on our position, straighten the legs. So we can, like I said, work the negatives. So again, tuck, tilt, tilt, legs on. Roll the shoulders back, push the hips forwards. Bring one knee down, squeeze the inner leg on, and then the outside, and then straighten the legs. Toes to the floor. You can bring your legs back on, or you can work on dismounting from there. So lower the legs, look at your hands, bend, pull up, pull up, pull up, land your feet on the floor. Does this all make sense so far? Okay, so there's lots of stages that you can do to develop your strength to get in your invert. Don't just go straight and trying to get upside down, build upon it. So once you've got that and you can work on the negatives coming down, you can then just work going straight over. So tuck, tilt, slightly lean to the side, toes to the floor. The more you aim your toes to the floor, squeeze the shoulders back, you'll keep your hips up. So from here, pull, knees up and out, toes down towards the ground, hold. Okay, bend, pull up, land back down. Makes sense? Okay, that's so super speedy, but you've got your tucks. You can work on one leg at a time, tucking your knees up towards your elbows, holding it as well. Tuck, tilt to the side, tuck, tilt, invert, invert, chopper, dismount, then straight over, okay? So definitely build yourself up towards it. And not apart from just doing that on the pole, do lots of different core stuff as well, okay? So things like leg raises, planks, alternative leg Superman. You can always do like things on the pole, like your ballerinas, for example. You could do your seated pull-ups. Anything that's going to help you work similar moves or similar muscles. Does that make sense? I say similar, working the muscles that you need for the move. I'll get my words out in a minute. So yeah, let me know if that's helpful to you. Make sure you stay committed as well. So if you are only like training once a week, or maybe you're doing, if you are doing once a week, make sure it's consistent, okay? So if you're only training once a week and you're doing a bit of core work then, following week you might just do some spins. You need to make sure it's regular, so every single week at a minimum, okay, even if it's once a week. If you can do 2 to 3 times a week, even better, you're going to get faster results. But you can only do what you can do at the end of the day, but just make sure it's consistent, okay? Your training is consistent. So if you're working towards your invert, make sure you get your invert training in there every single week. Track your progress, making sure that when you're doing your tucks, can you hold them for longer? Time yourself. Can you do more in a certain amount of time? Can you, are your knees higher, like when you're like watching your videos back and out? Can you see a difference? So always track your progress, making sure that you're heading in the right direction. Anyway, it's a little bit of a longer video than anticipated. But let me know if this is helpful to you. If you need some further help, obviously you can follow our Master the Chopper training inside of UPP. So we've opened the doors again, and I am so super excited for the next peeps to come and join us. I know August is a funny month, isn't it, for a lot of people because everybody's on holiday. So if you want to come and chat with me throughout August, make sure it's right for you. I look forward to hearing from you, and then we can get you started in September. All right. Yes, excellent. Okay, let me know if you've got any questions, and I'll see you soon. Bye.